you see, to understand this aspect, you need to have a good background in psychology and sexuality, so you can easily understand. The Tantric they explain very differently, the prana, blah, blah, blah. It's a complicated topic. But if you take, for instance, the idea of modern science, even in the 60s and late early 70s, they already realized that 60 to 80% of the population of America suffers from premature ejaculation. Yeah, the man ejaculates very quickly. And they were trying to stop this. So there were two very famous scholars called Masters and Johnsons, husband and wife team. And they were like trying to work out all of this problem, how to solve this problem, They couldn't find an answer. And it's going worse and worse and worse. Today, they are saying 60% of America is suffering from erectile dysfunction. It's another problem, not only premature ejaculation, but erectile dysfunction. Masters and Johnsons, India, I don't know if you know Kinsey, there was another very famous, Alfred Kinsey, a very famous sexologist who was studying and saying sexual, he was reporting sexuality, he was not making interpretations of data. He was just saying, this is the raw data, this is what's happening. So with all these guys, they realized that premature ejaculation has no physical problem. There is actually no physical problem, but the man is suffering from premature ejaculation. Today, it has gone worse to 60%. I don't know, I don't remember the figure, but 60% probably erectile dysfunction. So this is a big problem. And I am saying something very valuable, very beautiful. I'm saying it is deep-seated anxiety. Stress, deep-seated stress, hypertension, stress, and anxiety that makes the man's nervous system function differently. The nervous system is overworking. It's keep on firing and firing and firing. And the hormonal patterns changes. And the hormonal patterns creates these conditions. This is my Bhagavan Shri Shanmukha as the scientist and doctor. You understand? So, for this reason, there are two aspects to the problem. One is surely psychological, because we know that, psychosomatic problems. Psychosomatic problems are psychological, but they are produced bodily. Yeah, so because of the psychosomatical problem, we say, please study the Tantra seriously. And this also holds for women. Please, don't think that women don't suffer from anything. They are also very busily suffering from the other half of the problem. Because men and women are always together. You cannot separate them. If you separate them, you are not clever. So they mirror the same problem. So when you look at the seriousness of the issue, primarily it is psychosomatical, the same human being. But the problem seems to be worse and worse. And why is it worse and worse? When you take into account, then you see we are in a very stressful state today. Very stressful state. So the nervous system is overworking. So there are two aspects. One, the psychology, how we think is how we produce the behaviors. And the other one is, the nervous system is also a physiological problem. You can control it, but to control both is very important, to control the sexuality, apart from the energy. The energy is a different thing. So to control, asanas are wonderful. Pranayama is simply too great. You understand? So from asanas, pranayama, bandhas, they change the pattern of breathing. Psychosomatic problems are usually cut off by breathing. The brain stops reacting in these modern science says fight or flight.
Or flight.
Yeah, so the brain is overstimulated. So to cut that off, yoga is the best, and your nervous system becomes calm again for both man and woman. The calmness is very important that you drop anxiety. Otherwise, we are living anxiety-stricken life. Yeah. So the psychosomatic aspect is changing the way we think. That is the philosophy of Tantra is very useful. Please believe me. I've been teaching for over 40 years. I know very well. I meet thousands of women and men, and I know their problems. And many problems are psychosomatic. And the other is physical problem. And asanas, everything. Meditation is a wonderful tool. And that is why this yoga and Tantra became so popular, because they were able to help. While Masters and Johnsons can report the problem, they couldn't do anything. Till today, there is no drugs, no nothing to stop all these problems. So therefore, Tantra became more and more a popular thing in the modern world. Because the relationship is important, and they don't feel confident with the relationship when they have erectile dysfunction or a premature ejaculation.